Ladies, are you operating out of your toxic feminine energy without even realizing it? Let's talk about how to shift into your divine power and your true safety. Many women are unconsciously caught in patterns of things like control, drama, seeking validation, needing a savior, and these habits make us feel drained and leave us disconnected from our true authentic selves. In this video, we're going to explore how to recognize toxic feminine energy and the signs to watch out for, but most importantly, how to make that shift into your true divine empowered self. Hi, my name is Abby. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Before I get started into this video, I do want to preface with the fact that if you resonate with any of the things that we're about to talk about, this is not to bring shame. We do not feel shameful for things that happened when we were unconscious. All that we can do is bring in awareness, and that's what this video is for, to pull that awareness in to things that were previously in the dark, so now that you see them, you can shift them. And we're going to talk about 5 different things that the toxic feminine energy does. So number 1 is manipulation. Number 2 is falls into victim mentality or victim consciousness. Number 3, she is emotionally immature. Number 4, she is insecure, jealous, and falls into comparison. And number 5, she has beauty but no depth. So number 1 with manipulation, this often is a woman who falls into the category of a narcissist. And the reason for this is because she feels a lot better about her life when she is manipulating people for control. And the reason for that is because fear is extremely present. And when she feels out of control on the inside, the best way that she knows how to seek safety is by controlling the external. There is nobody on this planet that you can control except for yourself. When you are trying to control things outside of you, that is matter trying to influence matter, which is extremely difficult. When you recognize and realize that you are an energetic being that operates through frequency, it's a lot easier to shift things. And how you do that is by going within. What you are trying to control in the external world is something that you need control of inside of yourself. And all of the things that you are seeking outside, you can give to you. And that is where your true power lies. And the need for manipulation is a distortion of the divine feminine magnetism. So how you shift from being in this energy of manipulation, that toxicity, you recognize that a divine feminine does not force, she attracts. She doesn't need to manipulate people to get what she wants. She knows her value, she knows her worth, she knows who she is, and she knows that everything that she wants is coming to her in divine order. God would not have placed anything in her head or in her heart that would not come to fruition. So she is patient in the magnetizing of that. The next is victim consciousness or victim mentality, and this is something that I fell into for years of my life. And when I think about the girl that is in victim mode, I think about the damsel in distress, the woman who is in a pickle and she needs a savior. She needs to be rescued. She cannot do it by herself. And for years, I laid in this energy because I needed to be saved from myself, from my financial situations, from my relationships, from my trauma, and I was always trying to get somebody outside of me to come and save me. But let me tell you, nobody is coming. The only person that can ever save you is you. Sure, there may be people along the way that will help you, but that help is a temporary band-aid. The long-lasting change is what comes by doing this inner work. Being in victim mentality is the distortion of the divine feminine personal power, and you have so much power on the inside of you. So you need to recognize that you are your savior, that healing is in your hands, and anything that you are going through is a healing opportunity, that bad relationship, the debt, the lack of income, all of those things are happening for you. And that is how you shift. You go from asking why me to realizing that everything that is happening for me. The medicine is always in the pain. And once you get a clear vision on what you are going through, then you can save yourself from it. The next is emotional immaturity. This comes from not trusting your wisdom and not trusting your intuition. A divine feminine knows that her emotions matter and they deserve to be felt. And she handles her emotions in a healthy way. Whereas the toxic feminine energy, she creates drama. She creates chaos because she's addicted to the highs and the lows. And this can come from being in toxic relationships where you cannot communicate your needs, you cannot communicate your emotions, you are often shut down. This can stem from childhood, this can stem from adult relationships. And how you shift this is by learning how to respond. When you are in toxic feminine energy, you are reactive, you're explosive, your emotions are knee-jerk, they're instantaneous. When a trigger comes up, you react. And instead, what I want you to start practicing is when a trigger comes up, that is a teacher. That is a big mirror for something inside of you that you really need to look at. So it's an unhealed part. When that trigger comes up, you are going to pause. Do not say anything. Do not do anything. What I want you to do, put your hand on your heart and take a breath. By slowing that moment down, you are going to be able to healthfully respond instead of react. When you react, it is spicy, it is fiery, and that is often when we can be embarrassed of the way that we acted. And as divine feminines in training, we want to be proud of how we handled every situation. It is normal to have emotions. It is healthy to express your emotions, but it is not healthy to chew somebody out, to call somebody names, to hurt someone intentionally with your fiery words. So learning how to feel your emotions, learn the feelings wheel, know where you are, where it is feeling in your body, and grounding yourself so that you don't pull out of your body and act from your ego. So that is how you shift from being emotionally immature, is you learn how to respond and you practice emotional regulation. The next is Sorry, I'm just looking at my notes. The next is insecurity, jealousy, and comparison. A jealous and insecure woman feels like she needs to compete with other women. And this comes from a fear of not being enough, feeling like you're in lack, feeling like no matter what you bring to the table, you're not good enough. And a divine woman does not fall into this trap, because a divine woman knows her worth. And so the insecurity, jealousy, and comparison is a distortion of the divine feminine self-worth and value. So she knows what she brings to the table. She knows that even though other women on this planet are beautiful, it does not take away from her own unique beauty. Even though other women on this planet are successful, it does not take away from her own success. Just because somebody else is at a different spot in their life doesn't mean that she's never going to get there on her own path in her own time. She is focused on her timeline and she's clapping for all the other women on their own timelines. And that is something that you need to recognize, is that just because somebody else has something that you want and you don't have it yet does not mean that you won't. And being jealous and envious and comparing yourself to other people is just distracting you from your own life. Pay attention to you. How we shift from this toxicity into the divinity is by going from comparing and competing into embodying. You know your worth, you know your value, you know you're enough. And if you're in an environment that does not know these things about you, you know them. And I really want to speak to the woman who has been cheated on and her confidence is low and she feels like she needs to compete and compare and be jealous of other women, and it's pulling out that insecurity in you, remember your divinity, my sweet angel. I have gone through this wound many a times and it is really painful, but it only brought me deeper into my true authentic self. Now I know what I'm worth. I needed those situations. I needed to be hurt in that way to remember who the fuck I am. And I am so beautiful in my own way. I am smart. I am I am intuitive. I am spiritual. I am fit. I am healthy. I am all of these things. And the men in my past couldn't see that because I couldn't see that. So just like all the other ones, you need to give yourself what is not being reflected in your reality. And once you do that, only then when you're in love with yourself, can you pull that love towards you from the external as well. Oh, there was something else I wanted to say about this. Oh, yes. The man who cheated on you, who did not see the divinity in who you are, just couldn't see the divinity in himself. That man is lost, and you are not, because you know who you are. You know your value. So let him go. Let him go be lost on his own. It is okay. He can wander as far as he needs to, as far as he wants, because we've let go. We've detached from him, from the situation, and he is not your responsibility to pull him back home to the man that he should be. And when you are in a situation where you've been cheated on and you feel like you need to fight that other woman, or you need to confront her or have a conversation with her, it's not her problem. Yes, it takes two to tango, and she probably should have higher standards for her own life. However, your man is the one in agreement with you, so the problem is with him and not with her. And you have nothing to be jealous over with her. She is beautiful in her own way. She is smart in her own way. And you need to remember that only you on this entire planet is you. You are so unique. And if someone doesn't appreciate or value that, remember how many people are on this planet, and there will be somebody else who does. Rant over. Okay. So the next is beauty with no depth. And this is another one that I really fell into in my younger years. And what I mean by that is it is a woman who is so focused on her external appearance that she forgets about her internal garden. And she is only able to go puddle deep, not ocean deep, just a puddle, because her internal world is foreign land. She doesn't want to go there because she believes that there is no value inside. So she makes her outer garden absolutely beautiful while her internal garden has withered and died. And the best thing that you can do is work on the inside of you. The internal world that you have is going to be able to make you the most beautiful person you've ever been. And the reason for that is because when you have all of this density, you have all of this darkness, all of these toxicities, these poisons inside of you, all of these wounds, it is like gunking up your true beauty. It is so heavy. And I know for myself, when I was sitting in a lot of this toxicity and I was sitting in a lot of these wounds, my eyes were dark, my skin was dull, my hair would not grow. And you guys, look at my hair. I cannot believe how long it is. So when you start doing that internal work, it's going to give you that internal beauty that radiates outwards. And the best thing about doing your internal work is it's lifelong. You do not have to worry about the wrinkles on your face. You do not have to worry about your hair graying. You don't have to worry about not being that youthful version of yourself anymore, because your internal world is pretty. And when your internal world is pretty and you're happy with who you are, you're beautiful. You are so radiating, and people can see that energy, and it's the energy that makes the difference. So I know it's very trendy right now to be injecting your face with all kinds of things. It's so popular to be getting many different kinds of plastic surgery, and to each their own. But I just want you to know that you don't have to change anything about you in order to be beautiful. The only thing that you need to do is heal yourself. And that's the most important and permanent thing that you can do. And for myself, I got breast implants, my body rejected them. So the best thing, the most permanent thing, and the thing that will cost you the least amount of money is healing work, is doing and becoming aware of these toxic programs that are inside of you. If you resonate with any of this, please drop a comment down below so you can make other women feel less alone, and we can start building this community of like-minded women so we can become stronger together. It really helps my channel out if you can give it a like and leave a comment, subscribe, and don't forget to share this with someone who could use similar information. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. And somewhere in here, I'm going to put a playlist that I created called The Daughters, because as always, I am here to remind you that you are the daughter of a king, which makes you royalty. I am here to help you remember your true, authentic self, the fact that you are divine. Once we get rid of all of this toxicity, once we heal all of those wounds, we are going to be able to put our crowns back on our heads, sit back on our thrones, and be in our divine power. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day.